Oh, no be small thing no. They say they don't finally catch Nigeria army wey go kidnap somebody for inside Imo State, collect money for im hand, almost 5 million. Tomorrow now they go say na IPOB, na Nnamdi Kanu, na Eastern Security Network, na dem do am, na dem create am. I wish say they no catch this particular one. As that one dey happen, they say that those allegations wey dem dey give say na IPOB, na dem go US, na dem dey tell US wetin dey happen for Nigeria, this one, that one, Christian genocide. Come hear am for the horse's mouth o. They say IPOB no know anything, their hand no dey inside. Na they are free journalists wey know wetin dey on ground. My people, as that one dey happen o, this our brother, the general himself, he don finally burst out say Nnamdi Kanu stand forever. Whether they like, may they bring skeleton, anything wey they like, may they do. Say stand with him, Nnamdi Kanu, gidigbam, gidigbam. I will play the videos, may you watch. As they watch, follow this channel and share for more updates.
You say you're selling where?
14 billion and half year.
You said?
14 billion and half year.
14 D.
14 billion and half year.
14 billion and half year?
Yes, sir.
What's your name?
That's Kobra Chukwuka.
Eh?
That's Kobra Chukwuka.
That's Kobra Chukwuka.
Yes, sir.
How did you see what you did?
Well, sir, it's very, very wrong.
Eh?
It's very, very wrong of me.
How can you go and carry someone for nothing? You have to use. Look at the bring that ass. Look at the kind of ass you use on your fellow human being, and they rip him of everything he had. How much do people collect for him? I'm asking you.
Sir, he sent
How much?
5
How much?
5 M to the guy. 4 million 999,000.
4 million 900
99,000.
99,000.
But young man sent
Look at what he did. Where is the handcuff you used on him? This is the handcuff used on him for doing nothing against you because somebody called you and you are a service soldier. It's unfortunate. You guys are not representing us well. Some of you are not representing us well. Can imagine. That's why they'll be insulting us for nothing. Can imagine you left your duty post and you're gallivanting around IMSU axis. Now look at what you have cost yourself. Look at the level you've gotten yourself to now. Look at the level you've gotten yourself to. It's unfortunate. I just pray that this matter ends well. I just pray that this matter ends well. Say your name is what again? Last Kobra Chukwuka who?
Last Kobra Chukwuka.
Okay, who now Chukwuka who?
Peter.
You're from where?
I'm from Bango.
I'm from Bango. So how do you describe your action?
Because my action was an illegal action. It was not right of me.
Eh?
It was an illegal action, sir.
So how many of you went for this operation?
It's only me and the one soldier I met on the interview that was on a trying to get it.
What's the name of the soldier?
The name of the soldier, I think his name is either Ifani. I don't even, I think say this Ifani.
Don't lie to me here. What's the name of the soldier?
Sir, Ifani.
Ifani,
that's 12 is my senior.
He's a senior.
Yes, sir.
Where is he serving?
He said he's serving at that's 13 brigade.
The team will get about
Yes.
And both of you, how much it was transferred to you? How much was the share?
1.5, sir.
1.5.
Yes, sir.
How do you see, and how would you feel if your younger brother was just accosted this way, use this kind of their ask, you are using, and handcuff him back and beat him mercilessly like this, and force him to transfer 4,900,000 and the what? 99,000, and you are comfortable and you took your own share of 1.5 and you were happy taking the money. It's unfortunate. Chukwuka is very unfortunate. It's very unfortunate. I don't know. I hope you know that this is pure armed robbery, right? You know. As well.
IPOB pay you? Are they paying you to do this? Because that's the answer many want to,
No,
to get.
and I'm separating it from the issue of Biafran separation. That's not my interest in talking about this whatsoever, but it is an indictment of the tyrannical lawlessness of this administration. Here's the facts. First of all, even Nigerian courts have said the branding of Ipob as a terrorist group is bogus. There was never any due process. It was just a proclamation, and there's no evidence to support it. The United States doesn't accept that. I don't believe any country outside of the cadre in Abuja actually believe that it's a terrorist group. They did that.
No other country has prescribed IPOB apart from Nigerian government so far, though.
And so it's, first of all, it's clearly an effort to silence them. Second, Nnamdi Kanu carries a British passport as well. He's a British citizen as well as a Nigerian citizen. He was broadcasting from London. Never once, and it was challenged in court over and over again, there was never once any act of violence that is traced to any word that he spoke. Not once. There's not one act of violence that they can say came about as what he said. He spoke on foreign soil. And then he went to Kenya, does not have an extradition treaty with Nigeria. He was abducted, tortured, and illegally rendered to Nigeria. The Kenyan government said it was illegal, and they protested. The international community has protested. So, they come up with a bogus label of terrorist that nobody agrees with. They grab him for saying words on foreign soil that were not traced to any violence, and then they illegally render him back. They put him on trial under a law that had been repealed. His attorney kept saying, Your Honor, what is the law? Show me the law. What are you being prosecuting for? It does not exist. There is no law under which he was prosecuted. The old law, there was no continuation clause. There was zero legal basis for his prosecution. And then he was found guilty of what? Violating what? Simply offending the government is what he.
No. They said most of the things he said ignited violence and led to the death
of never proved it.
Security agencies and individuals and
arson. That is called tyranny. When you can grab somebody out of another land and you can condemn them for words they said that you don't agree with, even though they're not against the law, and you can sentence that person to life in prison and transfer them to Sokoto, 700 miles from the people that were feeding him, taking care of him, 700 miles from the appeals court. Sokoto, it's throwing him in a dungeon. They grabbed a guy because they didn't like his words with no law, with no legal basis. They illegally grabbed him, a foreign citizen on foreign soil, and they throw him in a dungeon in Sokoto. That's tyranny. I don't care what tribe he's in. I don't care what he was advocating. That's tyranny. That's evil. And it's an indictment of this government. The fact that he's still in prison illegally is tyranny. That is tyranny. There is no legal justification for it. They never made the case. They never showed what law they were prosecuting. The government didn't like him, and they threw him in a dungeon, just like they did with the Israeli filmmakers.
Why do you think the government may not have liked him? Because many would say, some people who believe in him call him the prophet of their time, because most of the things he warned about the massacre of the people of Nigeria are today, the reality of most of these indigenous Nigerians. But so many would say that, is there anything he actually did speak about that hasn't come true? So what exactly is his crime? But why do you think the Nigerian government did not like him enough to ensure that he was duly persecuted?
Well, I'll talk about it in terms of physics. There's no such thing as darkness. It doesn't exist. It's the absence of light. They operate in darkness. They're evil people operating in darkness, and he was shining the light. He was speaking the truth, but they say he was just teaching history. He was just pointing out the obvious about the Constitution, about the founding of Nigeria, about the whole British machinery that they put in motion. That's what he was doing. And that's a threat to the powers that be, because it's the truth. And they can't stand the truth. They can't live in the light because they are children of.
Nnamdi Kanu, sorry, I don't go stop to the love you. Nnamdi Kanu, I don't go stop to the like you. Nnamdi Kanu, you are a hero. Nnamdi Kanu, you are a man. Nnamdi Kanu, true, you are Mazi. You are Mazi. Nnamdi Kanu, true, that God send you. God send you true. You are Mazi. As far as you don't betray your people, you don't betray your loved one, you don't betray people who trust you, you a man. Right from 1991. And then they hide them. God created me to be activist. God bring me out to be activist. One day I go go. Death dey my pocket. I dey carry am waka. I no dey fear death. I no dey fear life. Why I no go talk truth? Wetin be the meaning why I no go talk truth? Instead I no go talk. See Sunday boom. Sunday boom they do. Ah God. Nnamdi Kanu, sorry. Sorry. I no go stop to dey love you. Nnamdi Kanu, I no go stop to dey like you. Nnamdi Kanu, you are a hero. Nnamdi Kanu, you are a man. Nnamdi Kanu, true, you are Mazi. You are Mazi. Nnamdi Kanu, true, that God send you. God send you true. You are Mazi. As far as you don't betray your people, you don't betray your loved one, you don't betray people who trust you, you a man. And they fear to work with Igbo. Not be all of them, some are good one, some are bad one. Igbo don't do some to the extent, but they fear to work with Igbo. I don't know who be who. I don't know informant. I don't know betrayer. And they talk and make on a hear them. Let this news go viral. Post them everywhere. And they fear to work with Igbo. Nobody see that they call me for phone, they send text. And they fear. I don't know who be informant. I don't know who be betrayer. I don't know who be set up. When you talk finish, I go say I don't hear. I don't know who send you. But if you find something to hold hand, to hold me, you don't go see. They never do left hand for old age. You don't go see. That way they find to hold hand, you don't go see. Unless that you go carry and come set for my house. Unless that you go carry and come set me up. Unless that you go come frame me up. You don't go see. You don't go see. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Alright, so that was a very nice one from General Asabuja. Thank you very much for always standing with the truth. Thank you for standing with justice. And thank you for standing with Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra. And he still remains a prisoner of conscience. Thank you very much for always speaking out. This is one man that no matter waiting, no matter how they try to paint or narrate this Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's ordeal, he still maintains that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu remains a saint. Alright, so guys, I have another update from Barrister Lloyd Jimakode. I want you guys to actually listen to. He made this post some few minutes ago. The update says, open letter to Ndibo. Follow compatriots 2027. Auspicious opportunity for the Igbo to reclaim their political space in Nigeria. Because a whole lot of people in the comment section of this post are still lambasting Barrister Lloyd Jimakode for this post. Is Barrister Lloyd Jimakode telling Ndibo to be part of Nigeria once again? Nigerians that have always marginalized Ndibo. But let's get the details of the letter. He went further to say, I wish to commence this letter by reminding us that the Igbo population in Nigeria is unarguable, the largest population by ethnic nationality. The Igbo ethnic nationality is by an undisputed wide margin the most geographical spread in Nigeria. Notwithstanding the failure of subsequent Nigerian government to conduct population census since 2006, 20 years ago, studies have shown that the Igbo people constitute about 99% of the population in the southeast geopolitical zone and approximately the second largest single ethnic population in the remaining 31 states and the Federal Capital Territory. In the Nigerians' brand of democracy, electoral victories are predicted on numeric strength and geographical spread. It therefore follows logically that a political conscious Igbo electorate has no excuse not to be a critical factor in Nigeria's political power equation at any given time since the return of democratic governance in Nigeria. The opportunity of 2027. The INEC portal remains open for online continuous voters registration. Sadly, findings shows that the southeast is still trailing behind other geopolitical zones by a wide margin. Again, it is now possible for already registered voters to change their earlier registered polling units to their preferred polling units online for ease of voting on election day. The result of the 2023 election published by INEC shows that the number of registered voters in the southeast geopolitical zone was 11.5 million, and the number of voters who participated in the presidential election was 2.2 million. In spite of the fact that the southeast recorded the last number of registered voters per geopolitical zone, the matter was worsened by the fact that a whopping 9.3 million registered voters did not participate in the 2023 presidential election. We cannot continue to do this to ourselves. Implication of voter apathy by Ndibo. Failure to register as a voter amounts to self-denial of one's inalienable right to participate in recruitment of their preferred representative, governor, and president at all levels. Refusing to vote in the election means that you have inadvertently
and unwittingly voted for the person or persons you ordinarily would not want to represent or govern you. In the likely event of a referendum or a plebiscite for self-determination state creation or the recall of a failed representative, only those with their valid voters card will be eligible to participate in such crucial events. In the absence of credible population census, it is the quantum of voters recorded by the Igbo that will be yardstick to weight Igbo political relevance in Nigeria. Enter the Igbo Agenda Dialogue, IAD. The leadership of the Igbo Agenda Dialogue, IAD, in active consultation and collaboration with a network of Igbo stakeholders, extant Igbo unions, associations, women organizations, youth groups, civil society, and pro-democracy organizations have agreed to embark on a proactive and robust advocacy to promote Igbo political consciousness on a non-partisan basis. The effort will include, but it's not limited to, town hall meetings to be held in major cities across the length and breadth of Nigeria. IAD has incorporated and established a functional office in the United States of America to coordinate and engage the vast Igbo diaspora population. In the same token, we project to mobilize about 15 million aggregate number of Igbo registered voters in the rest of the countries. We are confident that with a minimum of 35 million Igbo voting bloc for the 2027 general election, Ndi Igbo will be on their way to Igbo political resurgence and restoration of our long-lost relevance and respect in Nigeria. May God bless Ndi Igbo. Chief Chekwas Okorie, Ojeozo Ndi Igbo, National Chairman, Igbo Agenda Dialogue, IAD, 16th March 2026. So this is a publication from Barrister Aloy Ejimakor, trying to call on Ndi Igbo to see the importance or the necessity of involving in the forthcoming 2027 election. That is a time for Ndi Igbo. I mean, if he's trying to say that now be a time for Ndi Igbo to reclaim their position in the Nigerian politics. Anyways, it is not a bad statement or write-up or publication to make, because everybody be entitled to their opinion. But one thing we must know is that a whole lot of Ndi Igbo will be happy going for Saturday election in Nigeria, because a whole lot of impunity is going on there. A whole lot of impunity is going on there. That is why most of Ndi Igbo are interested in participating in the election in Nigeria, whatever. Anyways, if you must know the truth, it's among the reasons why Igbos are not being having some major positions in Nigerian government authorities, in Nigerian government seats, and so many things. But another thing you should also know, that an average Igbo man, if you not be an average Igbo man today, the only thing on our thinking of now is Biafra and Kamazan Nam the coming Gesipta. An average Igbo man, if on H now, Bukagi Kagesi, when we're wrong. If you Basata Nigeria, Basa Hosea, if you Basata Nigeria is no more their thing, and all that and all that. Anyways, I don't want to say more than this. What do you think about this write-up? Do you think the write-up is a good one from Barrister Aloy Ejimakor coming? I mean, trying to actually draw the attention of Ndi Igbo on the effect of not involving in selecting our leaders. Drop your opinions on the comment section. And what do you think? Share it on the comment section. And do not forget to share this video. Can you always survive with fear? Yeah, guys. See you guys, man.